The Indiana Senate is set to vote tomorrow on drawing new congressional maps. Attempts to change the proposed legislation failed today.
WDRB's Richard Essex is in Indianapolis and tells us Senate leadership isn't sure if there's enough votes to pass it. Richard?
All three amendments that were offered today by the Democrat caucus, they all failed. They were all Hail Marys, and they all collapsed right there on the floor. And tomorrow we are expected to have a lot of debate. Now, talking to some of the caucus leaderships on both sides, that you would expect them to know who's voting for what. And the majority tells us they don't know if they're going to have the votes tomorrow.
Most of us have made a decision what we're going to do, and so a lot of the tactics that have been used, the threats, my home is supposed to be firebombed and they'll shoot everybody in the house.
Senator Michael Crider is the man in the Indiana Senate tasked with keeping track of his Republican colleagues' votes. Going into one of the more high-profile votes, he's taking a very hands-off approach.
Trying to convince anybody one way or another. I would say that Senator Bray has been pretty much allowing each legislator to come to their own conclusion.
Here is what the proposed map looks like going into the final vote. Southern Indiana would be included with a district that takes in part of the east side of Indianapolis, including the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Today was essentially the last time to make any significant changes to this legislation.
All of us are trying to do the job that we're supposed to do as it relates to our state and our constituents, and I'm hoping that when everything's over and done with, we can move forward with a lot of other things that the state needs.
The change to congressional maps typically occurs once a decade after the census. This is the first time in modern Indiana history that new congressional maps are being considered in what is being called mid-cycle. Members of both houses have heard and felt the pressures from Washington, D.C. and activists here in the capital city.
We're simply here for Hoosier values of fairness and to be represented by our actual elected officials. Why are they betraying us? Why are they stabbing us in the back when they know that there's a critical mass of Hoosiers who absolutely do not want?
Moving forward may prove to be more difficult than it sounds. The pressure from Washington to change the maps is being met by pressures and threats here at home.
When you get kind of bullied and threatened, if that tactic works, then you can expect to deal with that for the rest of your political career.
I was talking to one senator from Indianapolis, the area. He was telling me that because of some of the threats, he has decided that he will not seek re-election. And tomorrow there will not be any public testimony, but one senator was telling me that if they allow the time limit to go, we could have 5 hours of testimony tomorrow. So we should find out tomorrow about this time if they're going to pass new congressional maps. In downtown Indianapolis, Richard Essex, WDRB News.